Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about the Xbox Handheld because Microsoft just did a 30-minute presentation over at Gamescom specifically about this, the ROG Ally X, including every aspect of it, from compatibility to the games, to the screen size, to the price, to the release date, and in a lot of ways, the internet is saying this thing is dead. Nobody is going to buy a $1,000 portable Xbox. But I really want to break this down objectively because in a lot of ways, I feel like I am the target demographic. I am obsessed with handhelds. I've got a Steam Deck that I play constantly. I've got a PlayStation Portal that I like really streaming my PlayStation 5 games with. I've got a Switch 2 that's currently gathering dust. I mean, I even play my original Switch Lite pretty much every single day on the treadmill. I love handhelds. So the idea of the strongest handheld of all time, I like the concept, but the execution, it's definitely strange. But let me break it down. Hi, hope you're having a great day. And if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I do want to quickly say, I'm sorry if you hear any background noise. It is currently a crazy thunderstorm on my house. So I'm going to try and edit around any thunder and lightning and stuff. But if you hear it, my bad, I apologize. But here it is. It's official. The ROG Ally and the ROG Ally X drop on October 16th. Now, this thing, in a lot of ways, it is big. The screen is 7 inches. One of the things about this, though, is that's still the most strange to me is that it's not fully compatible, meaning the fact that this doesn't play every Xbox game. It doesn't play every new game. The actual library itself is incredibly limited, even though it has an Xbox button, even though it's got an Xbox logo, even though it's tweeted on the Xbox account, it really doesn't play that many Xbox games. And so what they said is that one of the things they really showed off today is this compatibility system, which they straight up stole from the Steam Deck, but I mean that in a complimentary fashion because I love my Steam Deck. And one of the things that the Steam Deck does that's so incredibly nice is that when people get it, they report how it functions. They say, hey, the font is too tiny for the screen. Hey, it doesn't auto-configure the buttons. Oh, the keyboard layout doesn't work. Stuff like that. This will now tell you automatically, it will do compatibility testing and basically say, hey, here's how good everything works. I like that. But here's the weird part of it. They tweeted and then deleted this. This is a picture from the official ROG Ally X Twitter account that basically said, Gears of War Reloaded coming out next week is already approved for the platform. They're going to do a case-by-case basis as to which games do or don't work on it, which Xbox games don't work on the Xbox handheld. Now, in this case, technically anything can be played via Xbox Cloud streaming, but a lot of times it sounds like this is going to be mostly the Play Anywhere titles. If you bought something for $70 and not just on Game Pass, if it's Play Anywhere, it's playable on your ROG Ally X. But let's talk about specifications and let's talk about price. Now, first and foremost, the basic version, they're trying to do what they did with the Xbox Series X and S, where the Series S is weaker, but way cheaper. The Series X is much more beefy, but more expensive. Basically saying, hey, are you just trying to just tiptoe into next gen, or are you trying to jump in with both feet? They're doing that with this, where the ROG Ally X is $900, whereas the base model version is $550. Immediately, all the replies are like, bro, this thing is dead. I'm not a console warrior. This price does not make sense. Now, I saw this interesting thing where Mischief here was breaking down, basically saying from the leaked specs of this thing, because there is a lot of detailed stuff. Well, it's not even leaked. Sorry, the posted specs of this from the raw architecture inside of it, the $900 model, for as expensive it is, it's actually worth it from a technical standpoint. Like, you are getting $900 worth of tech for that $900 price tag. Do I think anybody's going to buy it? No, absolutely not. But when it comes to the $550 version, it's so bad that it still doesn't really make sense. Even from like a specifications quality standard, like, it's terrible. You might as well just buy a Steam Deck. This is the thing, is that I love the Steam Deck a lot. I do, but it's hard to think the Steam Deck, even on its own, is really a mainstream marketable success, right? It's weird to think about the fact that I love my Steam Deck because it is a portable PC and I can hack it and put emulators on it and I can cast it onto my TV and play stuff. I think it's such a cool device, but it's not something you're seeing at Walmart. You're not seeing people play it at the airport as much as I see people just holding a 3DS or a Nintendo Switch, right? This feels like a niche of a niche, doubling the price, reducing the availability, trying to outflank the power wars of handhelds. Just seems like such a weird gambit. Everybody basically is like, bro, I just don't need it. I have a PS5 Pro. I've got a Steam Deck. Why would I need this? Everybody is like, nope, I have a Series X that runs my games at 4K for less than this overpriced Windows laptop. Plus, the added bonus of playing all my Xbox library is what I'm really after. Not cloud streaming my games with horrible input lag. Look at this. I don't know about this, fellas. This is the thing. Here's a tweet that really stuck with me. I actually saved this last night because I feel like it's very poignant. Steam Deck sold about 4 million in 3 years. Those sales are niche as hell. And this is where I'm at, which is that this feels like, in a lot of ways, I think Xbox keeps trying to bet on the future. Xbox keeps trying to predict where they think the market is going. And I think they were correct in the fact that clearly people are buying the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, the sales of the games are terrible, so I think even if people bought a Nintendo Switch 2, they're not really buying any of the third-party trash they're shoveling out. But I think that they realize PlayStation, there's a lot of leaks that PlayStation is trying to make a handheld version of the PlayStation 6. There's going to be a split SKU. There's going to be a PlayStation 6 that works on your TV and a PlayStation 6 that is essentially, roughly the power of this. But they're trying to make it as cheap as possible. They're trying to wait a couple years till the technology price comes down. I think that Xbox is trying to get ahead. Xbox is saying, okay, let's beat them to the punch. For once, let's be first. Even if it's not a better piece of tech, it's a first piece of tech. But I almost feel like they really just went about this in such a wrong way. Like, I think this catchphrase is cool. Anywhere is a great place to play. A lot of people that have tested it said it does feel good in the hands. Obviously, I've got very tiny princess mitts, but people with normal-sized human hands, maybe it'll feel even better in your hands. I feel like the idea of playing MMORPGs, like, here's my thing. I like the idea of playing stuff on a handheld that's extra beefy. Like, I love World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft, that is a game that would definitely run on a Steam Deck. There's actually mods already that make it run well on a Steam Deck. If this somehow automatically just boots up and plays super well a game like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV and has a half-decent battery life, that to me is interesting. I almost want to see what this can do that's dramatically better than any other handheld. Because right now, I just feel like I just don't get it, right? One of the things I enjoy most about PC gaming is not just the ability to do mods and customization and stuff. It's also the fact that I like the fact that there are games that run on my PC that are obviously exclusives. Like, I play a lot of World of Warcraft, MMORPGs. I like to play Final Fantasy XIV specifically on my PC, even though it is on Xbox or it is on my PlayStation 5. And my thought is almost that with something like this that is extra powerful, I kind of almost want to see its PC qualifications, right? What if they do release a version of Final Fantasy XIV specifically that's optimized for this, or a version of World of Warcraft that's specifically optimized for this and has controller support and stuff? I feel like the potential of this is certainly interesting, but that price, my big fear is that in a lot of cases, if something bombs, they immediately in support. Like, actually deving stuff, making stuff run good on a Nintendo Switch 2, making it run good on a PlayStation, it's expensive. It takes a lot of trial and work. It takes a lot of developers. My fear is that if this thing sells 10,000 units, they're not going to have teams dedicated to that. They're not going to have people actually caring about that. It's very strange. I just feel like Xbox is aiming for a group that they hope is going to exist. And I just don't quite get it. I'm not going to be super negative. I'm not going to say I refuse to buy this. I'm not going to say you shouldn't buy this. But I'm definitely in the camp where I kind of want to see what it actually plays like. Because honestly, the more I see of this, the more I just think that it's going to flop. I mean, obviously it's going to flop, but It just seems like such poor planning from Xbox that I'm honestly more confused than annoyed. I don't know. How do you feel about this? Double the price of a Steam Deck. I'll be honest, I can't get over that part. Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Okay, I'll make you a deal. If this video gets, let's say, 1,500 likes before this incredibly expensive device's pre-orders come out, I'll pre-order it. I'll pre-order it and I'll check it out myself, and I'll do a big video called like, I regret buying this $1,000 Xbox with 9 games. Oh God, I'm going to regret that premise. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.